Hello, my name is Gelden. Welcome back to my channel. This is your boy, your man, your host, Lamin, and I am gonna review again another fragrance from Yusuf Bhai, which is Yusuf Bhai's Dior Homme Intense. Yeah, this is Yusuf Bhai's Dior Homme Intense, and I'm gonna compare it to the real deal. So I got a decant from Micro Perfumes of Dior Homme Intense Eau de Parfum. I'm gonna spray these two fragrances side by side, and I'm gonna see if Yusuf Bhai was good enough at replicating the original smell of Dior Homme Intense, and tell you guys where the differences are and how they both perform. So, to start off, I'm going to spray Yusuf Bhai's Dior Homme Intense. My right hand, spray the actual Dior Homme Intense on my left hand. Yusuf Bhai's Dior Homme Intense on my right hand. Let's hope you guys can see. I'm gonna wait for this one to dry down. You can see this is the real deal, decanted, and I'll spray it on my left fist. Oof, that was a pretty big spray. When I first sprayed the Yusuf Bhai version on my right fist, I started to smell there was some slight bergamonty opening, very slight in the beginning, like a little burst, like not even 2 minutes, and then it gets straight into that iris powderiness. You know, when you start smelling it, it's like you get that iris. You know, it's really in the top, the forefront. You get a bit of like some vanilla type smell in it, and you get that powderiness right from the beginning, like from the top. It smells so good. I can't lie, it just smells amazing. Yusuf Bhai did such a great job on this. For a certain point in my life, even till now, I might say this might be like one of my favorite fragrances. Honestly, it made me fall in love with the Dior Homme Intense vibe. The whole Dior Homme Intense DNA, this freaking fragrance made me fall in love with it. I liked it so much that I had to get the actual decant of the real deal to compare to see which one is even better and which one I liked better. So when you spray this one on, you get some bergamot, some iris, you get some vanilla, tonka beanish stuff inside. I think there's a bit of vetiver or cedar, but it's very faint. It's really what you get in the complete dry down. But this, from the beginning to the end, it really stays mostly the same. It doesn't really change much. This one smells amazing. Like, for me, this is like a 10 out of 10, for real. The real deal, in the beginning, I can actually smell quite a difference. Like, right now what I'm smelling in the real one is a lot of vetiver cedar combination. It makes it a little bit bitter smelling. It smells like vetiver and cedar combined, and when you combine the two, I get kind of like a pine tree or like a evergreen cedar tree. I don't know where the tree is from, like some type of tree, green grassy tree mixed with vetiver that's like rooty tree thing. So it smells a bit greenish, like a bit bitter. That's the best way to point it out. Like, it smells a bit bitter, but this definitely has that iris in it. It smells like there's some tonka. You don't really get much of that bergamot like inside of the Dior Homme Intense one from Yusuf Bhai, but you do smell iris. It's the main player, except that on the real deal, I think I can smell that there's a bit of higher quality ingredients and more going on. Like, when I sprayed it, I smelled like vetiver, but not just vetiver. I smell a bit of like Ice Super, because that blast from the beginning, the opening of the real deal, I smelled something that reminded me of Molecule 01. And Molecule 01 is an Ice Super based fragrance. It gives a bit of woodiness, and I get a bit of like a vetiver-ish facet from it. So when I first blasted this, I could smell that in the real deal. As well, I could smell iris, but also a lot of vetiver and cedar. From my nose, from my smell, that's what I got from the real one. But once the real one dries down, that's when you get that powderiness, you know? What everybody loves in Dior Homme Intense, it starts coming in when it starts to dry down. That's the biggest difference I've noticed. Yusuf Bhai's fragrance and the real deal. What tends to happen is that his fragrances smell like the dry down, like the best parts. From beginning to the end-ish, like usually. Whilst the real deals have like a beginning, a mid, and an end that are all discernible, but the best parts are usually like the mid to the end. And what Yusuf Bhai does and his smell-alikes is just give you exactly that mid to end point. And that's what you get. So if you get these fragrances from Yusuf Bhai and say, this doesn't really smell the same, well, maybe it's because you're not at the dry down of the real one yet to be able to see why this is similar to the real one. And oftentimes, in my personal opinion, I rather get the Yusuf Bhai ones instead of the real deal, because that's what I like the most. That best part, if I can get it beginning to end, sign me up, I'm getting it. And also for the price, they are cheaper than the original. The only thing is you need to buy this from overseas, because this is from Dubai. You can get multiple fragrances that smell really good for the same price as a one real deal, full bottle, everything. So this Yusuf Bhai one smells very amazing. It smells very powdery. Like, it smells amazing. This made me fall in love with Iris. And then the real deal, getting to the dry down, it smells more powdery. So in the beginning, you get like some iso-y, superish smelling notes, and then you get some vetiver, some cedar, and the iris is like in the back. But when it dries down, it starts to get lifted up, you know? Like when you breathe in, it starts to come in like that. And then you start getting that iris in, like the iris comes in. And I think the iris is probably positioned in the mid or the end, but when it starts to dry down, you get the iris with some tonka bean, helping it boost that sweetness up in the vanilla. And when that envelops together, it makes that beautiful powderiness that a lot of people love. I'm gonna tell you, Dior Homme Intense, women will love it. You can't go wrong with a powdery smelling fragrance. That's not just so powdery that it's just that. You need to have a bit of other players in the mix to like balance it out, you know? This usually lasts about 7 to 10 hours, the Yusuf Bhai version. I think like the best times to wear this is definitely when it's cold. Winter is the best. Also, you can do it in colder fall nights, you know. When you wear this, it projects. Let me tell you, when I first wore this, it was like December, and my sister came back because she has school. She went to uni and she came back, you know, family times and all of that. I sprayed this. I was in the kitchen. As soon as she walked in, she was like, damn, your perfume is strong. So this has enormous sillage, let me tell you. When you come into a freaking place, it's going to take over. Let me tell you something. Wait. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait.
Be careful when you wear this, okay? You don't need to put too much because this has great sillage and the longevity is decent. 7 to 9 hours, like trust me. This has enormous sillage. I once wore this, it was at night. It was spring, but it's still cold where I'm at. So I wore this in the car and my aunt came in, she was like, damn, what is this fragrance in your car? Like, it smells so nice, your car smells so nice. I'm like, nah, it's not my car. It's me, you feel me?
Nasty bitch.
Nah, obviously I didn't say it like that, but you know what I mean. Like, it smelled good, man. It smelled good. And if I have to buy any fragrance from Yusuf Bhai again, I'm definitely buying his Dior Homme Intense smell-alike because this smells amazing. Trust me, like. Now let me compare it again to the real deal. Yeah, so exactly as I was saying, when the real deal dries down, that's exactly how Dior Homme Intense from Yusuf Bhai, his smell-alike smells like, literally like that. Except the checklist. Let me tell you exactly the differences that you can expect when you get this one instead of the real deal. So when you get a Yusuf Bhai one, you get some bergamot in the beginning, but you get more powderiness from this. The powderiness in this is exemplified, you know, compared to the real deal. Second, I think this projects more. It is more beastly than the original, in my opinion. Maybe it might be because this sprayer is more pressurized. It's like a mist. You spray it, it's like, you know, like the gleeking, like that, and it flies. I might put the clip in, maybe not. Anyways, this atomizer is really good, so that might be one of the reasons why it covered more space on my hand and then makes it smell stronger. While this decant thing, it's not the best sprayer, honestly, but who knows, if I was to get the real one, maybe it'll perform better on me. But at the end of the day, this is just to know how it smells, you know, to have a piece of it but not the whole thing, because you don't want to commit and then not like it. The original starts off with not really much of bergamot, you know, orangey, citrusy smells. It starts off more with like isoe super. It envelops that, it like projects that, and then you get vetiver and cedar a lot, and then the iris is like in the back. But once it dries down and gets to the mid, that's when the iris starts to come out, and then it gets supported by like vanilla, tonka bean, and other things, and then that's what really captivates people. Also, what you can definitely tell is that this smells like it has more premium ingredients. Like when I compare designer and niche, I can kind of smell the difference. There's like this little thing inside of it that you can smell without knowing the price. Like if I was to do a blind test, maybe I'll do eventually someday, I can smell like the niche fragrances have this type of ingredient they put inside. I don't know if it's like more premium vetivers and cedars and whatever it is, but when I smell it, I can tell like, whoa, this is the real Layton. Like I can smell the difference. However, in the air, no one's gonna tell that this is niche and this is this or this is that, because in the air they smell the same. But when you're smelling it up close, like, you know, I can smell like this smells more synthetic, a bit more harsh, but it performs better. In the air, it smells nicer in my opinion, because I don't like vetiver and cedar too much. But when it's well blended, like in this case, it's not that bad. But because of it being so strong on this, the vetiver and cedar, and overpowering sometimes, I rather get the Yusuf Bhai, because the Yusuf Bhai is more powdery. It smells just more irisy, projects more in the winter, and for the price, like, you can't go wrong with it. But the original, if I have to say something about the original, this smells like money. This smells rich. You know, this smells like that guy who just winning. You know, he come out the Lambo, and the chauffeur come, picks it up, and the gal just comes at the right moment. He seems like he's movie perfect, you know. Everything is perfect. His lineup is crisp, everything. He's not like me, you know, my thing is kind of, oh, he needs some milk, you feel me? But when you have this fragrance, the real deal, Dior Homme Intense, you smell like money. Like, there's a reason why this goes for the price it does. And also, you know what's really sad about this fragrance? You can't freaking blood clot buy this thing in America. You have to buy this overseas, or you go to the duty frees. You can't go to no Hudson Bay, no Sephora, and find Dior Homme Intense. You can only find Dior Homme Original. You cannot find Dior Homme Intense inside any store in America, unfortunately. And this is like one of the most hyped, with the parfum version that I've never smelled and would love to, but I have to go to Europe if I want to smell the real deal of that one. So if I have to put them against each other, I'm gonna have to choose one. I would dash this in the bin. Obviously I wouldn't, but I'm gonna give the win to Yusuf Bhai Dior Homme Intense, because it smells stronger. You guys know I like fragrances that penetrate the noses. I love iris because of this, the vanilla, everything smells amazing. And it's not super vetivery, cedary. It's not the most expensive, but it's a good price. It kind of smells weak on my skin. But I feel like I need to test this more and put it in the right temperatures. This is not all season. Like, you can wear any fragrance all season, but if you want the best out of it, like performance and compliments and everything, wear this when it gets colder, because the cold for some reason just takes these types of scents and, you know, puts them in the air, so like everybody can smell it. It gives that thing the longevity, the sillage that it needs to go. Like, some fragrances that are sweet, that's what they need. They're made for sillage, you know. They're not made to just stay on your skin forever. They're made to, like, you know, this would be great for a date, you know. This, honestly, I think would be great for a date night fragrance. Another interesting thing that I've noticed that separates these two things often is that because this has more bergamot, is powdery and has a bit less vetiver and cedar. It also really reminds me of Amouage's Reflection Man, which I really love as well. This really reminds me of Amouage Reflection Man. But there's something that's missing in this that Amouage Reflection Man has, and I think it has something to do with like Amouage's Reflection Man is more like a all-weather, all-season type fragrance. It's good for the fall, but this one has more sweetness in it. And Amouage Reflection Man is more like, there's ingredients in it that make it like well-rounded for just any type of moment, any type of season. So it's weird, but Yusuf Bhai's Dior Homme Intense also reminds me of Amouage's Reflection Man. But honestly, I have to say I like this more than Dior Homme Intense. Like, this is like honestly my favorite fragrance, and I'm definitely gonna try to buy this one again from him because it's that good. Like, back of bottle worthy. Trust me, if you need Dior Homme Intense, get this. It don't smell exactly the same. Like, the likeness, I'm gonna give this an 85% out of 100% likeness. You have to ask me which one I would choose. Trust me, I'm taking this. If you really love vetiver and cedar and stuff like that, then go for the original. The original definitely has better ingredients. You know, it's more of a rich man's fragrance than this, but this one, honestly, most people, if I was to do a test, trust me, most women are gonna choose this one because it smells sweeter and you can actually smell it more in the air. Damn, there's something about this, man, for real. There's really something about this. Trust me, you should go get it. Like, look how much I've used. There's literally nothing. This is not even 2 ml left. Like, you know, there's nothing left in this, and that just shows how much I've used it. Yusuf Bhai, if you watch my video, there's something like, you know, send me some bottles, man. Let me get a little sponsorship, you know, let me get a little something, you know, help me out. I'm just beginning. This is my second video on your fragrances, man. Come on now. I'm like pushing your things out there. Obviously not really, but like, you know, I don't even get views like that. Come on, go try it. Trust me. And if you don't like it, send it to me so I can have more of it because it's that good. 10 out of 10 for me, this fragrance. Now we've come to the end of the video. So if you've liked the video, please put a thumbs up, comment down below, share the video around to anybody that might be interested in finding out if the Yusuf Bhai's Dior Homme Intense take smells similar to the real deal. And at the end of the day, subscribe, put that notification on, and maybe I'll post another video, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll go MIA for the rest of my life. Who knows? Who cares? See you next time. Adios.